Good morning, students. Today we are here to start with the new chapter of history, that is the French Revolution of class 9. Here, first of all, I would like to ask, what does the revolution means? The revolution means a situation in which a large people raise their voice or go against any sort of policies or laws which are being made by the government or any of the higher authority, and they used to come in a mass group for a particular thing, means they are speaking against, or you can say that they are coming up with the demands. If I ask you again that who will revolt? Obviously, the person who is dissatisfied will revolt. Why they will revolt? And the revolt, obviously, from one end or the another, everyone wants to revolt, right? But when the dissatisfaction arises among a huge number of people, the large number of people are dissatisfied for a particular thing, that results in the revolution. Then they come together to revolt, means in a simpler way you can say a political change. So whenever there is a dissatisfaction and the large number of people come together for movement, they turn into the revolution. They are fighting to get something better from that. So for that, what they have to do? They have to come together. So in this chapter, we will talk about the revolution for liberty, equality and fraternity. So here the liberty means getting some liberty, मतलब कुछ छूट मिलना. Equality means the person, each and every individual should be equally treated, means the equal right should be given, बराबरी का अधिकार. And fraternity means the brotherhood. Yes, obviously the bhratratva means they should be equal, they should have a feeling of brotherhood, means wherever they are living for one, right? Just like as the two brothers are living at one place, right? Before the topic we will start the French Revolution, we should know what were the three estates. Yes, before the revolution, the French people were divided into three groups. As means if they are in a three groups, means there are some criteria which we will study. The very first one is the first estate, they were being termed as the clergy. The second estate, they were be termed as the nobility. And the third estate, which is for the common people, the workers and the peasants. So legally the two estates enjoyed the many privileges, particularly exemptions from most of the taxes. Here we have to look onto the three estate pattern which the French peoples were following: the first estate, the second estate and the third estate. The first estate is of clergy, the second is for the nobility. These two group of people are the higher group of peoples, means they are enjoying the most of the privileges which is there being given by their government also, means उनको दूसरे ग्रुप्स के कंपैरेटिव these two groups को ज़्यादा अच्छा और उनको ज़्यादा privileges were given in their society. And the third estate is for the common people, the workers, the peasants who are earning in a low home. ज़्यादातर empowered, the more privileges were being given to upper two estates, wherever the third estate is the only estate which is giving the taxes. Do you find the equality over here? Obviously no. And who is the biggest survivor in this three estates? Obviously the common people. The third estate is the biggest survivor here, because rest of the two estate peoples, even though they are very wealthy, but they are getting the extra privileges also, and they are moreover they are being exempted from the taxes which they have to pay. In today's scenario, as you can see that the taxpayers are paying the taxes. There is no that they are this estate or any group of people is being exempted from the taxes. So here, do you find the equality? No, because the two estate people, the first estate and the second estate, means the clergy and the nobility were the group of people who were being exempted from the taxes. So here you can see that the third estate peoples, means the common people, are being burdened by the taxes. So here my question arises is, are they satisfied? Do you think if we feel any sort of discrimination, we will get the satisfaction? No. If we are being treated unequally, we will not be satisfied, and this will result in the revolt, in the revolution, which we will study in the coming chapter. Means the third estate were being not treated equally, as well as being burdened by the taxes. So here the question is, who were the clergies? The first estate was of Catholic Church officials, means the clergy. They were being treated a higher group of people, means they are being treated as they are something, you can say that they are being treated as a higher group of people. So they were basically the church officials. So they were being marked as the people who are being from the higher group of people. So the first estate were of clergy, which were actually the Catholic Church officials, means they are workers or the officials of the Catholic Church. So they were being termed or being treated as the higher group of people. Now let's go to the next. Now the next group were the nobility people. The second estate, they were from the second estate, they were being termed as the nobility. Who were they? With the exceptions of a few liberals, the nobility wanted greater political influence for themselves, but nothing for the third estate. Means the church authorities were with the clergy, the nobility were having the power of the political influences. They were being more politically influential peoples. They were the greater political influences they were having. So they were again being treated as the higher group of people, as the clergy group. So here we can recall the clergy group is from the church officials. The church officials were being categorized in the clergy, and they are being treated as the or being termed or being categorized in the first estate, wherever the nobility were there in the second estate, which were having the political influences. Now the next is, who were from the third estate? Yes, obviously, as you can see from the pic also, this treated from the era of the French Revolution depicts the third estate as a person in chains who supports the clergy or nobility on his back. Means they are actually, from this pic, they are being treated as that they are being burdened by the clergy and the nobility people, because they have to pay the taxes. Means more burden of the taxes were on the back of the third estate. As we have studied in the very first beginning of the chapter, that they were the taxpayers. All the people in the third estate were the taxpayers, so they are not being treated as equally as the first two estates, the people from the first two estates. So you can easily remark that these peoples are facing the lots of problem of inequality here. They are not being equally treated as rest of the first two estates. So the question is, will they be satisfied? No, because they are facing the discrimination. So how can they be satisfied? Let's see. Taxpayers. The third estates bore the entire tax burden. Tethe. They have to pay the tethe also. What is the tethe? That 1/10 of the agriculture produce, and they have to pay the tax to the state. Means they are paying the 1/3 of their production. Whatever they are producing, they have to pay the 1/10 of the part of whatever their income is to the church, right? And that is being termed as a tethe. What is? Then the clergy and the nobility enjoyed at their cost. That means they are who? The third estate peoples are actually surviving or being burdened by the taxes. They are doing the hard work, but the rest of the two people are being enjoying with the production, and whatever the taxes they are paying, they are just enjoying on those taxes which are being paid by the third estate. Now come to the next, the French royalty. The royal family lived in the luxury at the palace of Versailles. Means the royal people, the family of the royal people, they lived in the luxury of the palace of Versailles. Can you see the pic? Yes, that is the palace, the inside picture of the palace of Versailles, where the royal people used to live. So let's talk about the Louis XVI. Louis XVI was an awkward, clumsy man who had a good heart but was unable to relate to people on a personal level. So he was the king of the France, named as Louis XVI. Okay, and he was facing the many crises during his tenure. Means he is facing the crisis of the treasure, means the empty treasure during his period of kingship. He was married to a lady named Marie Antoinette. Who was Marie Antoinette? Marie Antoinette, in her early years as queen, was flighty and irresponsible. She spent huge amount on clothes, buying new dresses nearly every other day. Being Austrian, she was terribly unpopular in France and had few friends. Means she was the queen from Austria, and she was not being liked by the people. So you can have a look of the pic also of the Queen Marie Antoinette. See the Marie Antoinette. You can see the palace from inside, the palace of Versailles, how it looks like. Yes, this is the pic of the palace of Versailles. Now here in this chapter we will also talk about the three growing middle class political philosophers. They were the political philosophers. They tried to bring the changes in the political issues. That is, their name was John Locke, Rousseau and the Montesquieu. Here you can see the pic of some riots over there. Means riots means jhagade, dange, right? This pic shows the condition of that area, that is long queues for bread. They are lining for the bread. So here you can see how they are conducting the meeting of the estate journals. Two estates were sitting and the third estate, means the common people, were standing. See how they are being ill treated, right? Here we will talk about the tennis court oath. The delegates agreed and all but one of the 578 delegates signed. What was that oath? Their oath is known as the tennis court oath. The National Assembly, considering that it has been summoned to establish the constitution of the kingdom, decrees that all members of this assembly shall immediately take the solemn oath not to separate until the constitution of the kingdom is established on the firm foundations. That was on 20th 1789. What was that oath? Oath means shapath. Let us swear to God and our country that we will not disperse until we have established a sound and just constitution, as instructed by those who nominated us. So they have taken this oath, on which they have signed. So they have taken the swear. It was on the suggestions which was given, and here you can see that the pic is being shown. So today I have given you the introduction of this chapter. In the next we will talk in deep about the topics of the French Revolution. Thank you and have a nice day.